here to give you our view, analysis, I guess I should say, of the February shipment report, which came out this morning. That's the seventh shipment report of this marketing season. Mike, why don't you give us a quick rundown of that?
So I think in a couple words to describe it was surprising,
Mm-hmm.
better than expectations, and should have some good market reaction from it.
Yeah, and I think we should tell people that we do our best to try to guess these numbers, I think, ahead of time.
Sure.
And that's when you miss it like we did this year or this time, it always comes as a bit of a surprise. We look at our own numbers, we talk to a few people to see what we think is going to happen. And I think we approach this one thinking, boy, we're going to have a repeat of January.
Right. It can be another stumbling block, but shipments were up 16%. Domestic market was up 9%. Export was up 19%. With the logistical issues that we still are facing, and we did face in February, it's amazing that the shipments are doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it should have been just that much better. Should be 25, 30% up. I mean, the sales are on the book, but you just can't get them out. And the fact that you still put up 16% increase, I think is a phenomenal feat, really.
Yeah. Big sigh of relief, really.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to see 2 months back to back
Mm-hmm.
where you had shipments that really suffered. Crop receipts came in this month at $3.095 billion, so about 5 million pounds shy of the 3.1 billion pound crop. Think it'll probably be slightly over that now, but it's not really going to affect things, I don't think.
No, you're pretty much done now.
Right. So then I think people start doing the figuring and start trying to calculate their carryover and what we're going to ship for the rest of the year. Looks like you're going to be around that 750 million pound plus mark for a carryover. I don't think that's necessarily insurmountable or a bridge too far for us, but it's gonna continue to make the market active, right? There's still going to be liquidity, I think, because people are going to be seeing that number and want to continue to participate.
And if we end up with less, we're obviously going to have to ship more in the remaining months. Those months, if you look historically, are lighter months. So your ability to do that is there. Right. Do you feel like your logistical problems are starting to lighten up?
It kind of goes day by day. All of a sudden, vessels would be advanced, multiple vessels will be open, and then they close them all and then start rolling vessels again. So it's really hard to tell. I think we have our expectations for March, and every day it's a new day. So it's really tough to say.
Yeah, but I'm going to be optimistic and say those are going to improve. I think you're starting to see it already.
I guess short term, short term, it's not really feeling it. Mm-hmm. Maybe once you get more people vaccinated, more people back to work, you have the people working at the ports working at full muster, then we'll see some improvement for sure.
And if we get that, we're going to have a small carry-in than we're talking about. So,
right.
Okay. What about the shipments by area? Do you have a little rundown on that?
Yeah, I think one of the more interesting pieces of that is India. I mean, we've talked about them every position report since the beginning of the crop year, and we've always commented on just that fantastic growth. And I think you're starting to see the availability of in-shell bite into the shipment. So for the first time this year, India's down. They're down 13% for the month. The Middle East was up 47%. Ramadan is towards the end of April.
Yeah, I looked it up. April 12th it begins and goes for a month.
Okay. So they've had some pretty heavy shipments going in, I think, in preparation for that. They're still an active buyer today after the report came out. So I think that's great news. Europe was up 11% for the month. So that's actually a pretty big number for Europe. Double-digit growth is pretty good. We talked about the U.S. domestic market up 3% or up 9%. My apologies. And China, including Vietnam, was up 3 times what they were compared to last February. So I think that's fantastic. Even given all the tariff issues and things like that have not been resolved, you're still seeing fantastic consumption there.
No, and that always great news. And I think the market is driven so much on expectation, sentiment, and the idea that there was this sort of feeling that we may have another poor report, and now we have a good one. I would think you get a lot of mileage off of that, huh?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are waiting, a lot of buyers who are waiting to participate in the market on the lead up to this.
Hmm.
And their expectations, I believe, never really came to fruition. And okay, now we have the reality is different now,
Hmm.
so I think we'll see people start to readjust. We've seen a relatively active market after the position report came out this morning, so it'll be fun to watch for
Yeah,
sure.
and as a grower told me yesterday, sometimes we the sellers get too negative, and we start thinking the world's going to end, and yet these low prices, because these are historically low prices, are starting to have not starting, they've been having their effect. You're starting to see good consumption growth,
Right,
right? And I would expect more to come, right?
right.
These are positive sort of reactions to that, I think.
I would agree
So.
completely.
Well, so we've got, to summarize, you've got 16% growth for the month and the
Year
year.
to date, yes.
You've got crop receipts that look like they're going to end up at about 3.1, maybe slightly over.
Yes.
The guesses are 750 on a carry-in for now.
And maybe a little larger, I think, today, but
Mhm.
that's basically where you're going to be.
And,
And about 73% sold on the total supply,
and that's a little bit,
slightly ahead of where we were this time
okay,
last year.
and good sales. So
Yeah, just about 2 million pounds less than we sold last year in February.
and those,
It's good sales.
yeah, and so I think we're expecting bigger shipments to come.
Yes.
That all that should be there. And I think we should mention this carry-in that we get so scared about and talk about. There's still signs that we're going to have little bits of tightness on certain items, right?
We already talked about in-shell, right? That
Yeah.
one's kind of front of mind. That's gonna be tight for sure. Large non-pearl kernels, that's been tight pretty much all year long. I think as you start to move down in that size range, I think you're gonna start seeing 25, 27 non-pearl start to get a little bit tight on people. I think Butte Padres are gonna get tight. So even though you had the biggest a 3.1 crop, I think
Whopper.
I think you're gonna see some holes in inventory.
Yeah. So it's just a lesson that
Yeah.
800 is, while it sounds big, it may not be that big.
Right.
From a flow standpoint, to have all the available products available to your buying community. So we got to get used to that, I think.
Yes.
Okay. You got anything more to add to this thing?
No, I don't.
Get vaccinated, everybody. Thank you.
And subscribe to the YouTube channel so you guys can get updates when we put out other videos. So every week, Dave is putting out a video, whether it's about the market or about something in the field or any sort of current topics.
Mm-hmm.
He's posting those on the Almond Company's YouTube channel, which is called The Almond Company. So go ahead and check it out.